This is Melvin York, and you're listening to Gardening with Daddy Pete. I'll be your host today, and last time we had one of our extension agents in there, actually, from the North Carolina Extension here in Iredell County, and I hope y'all enjoyed that. But today we're going to do something just a little bit different. I'm going to take you to our website. I have a lot of people call in, a lot of people wanting to know how to call in, how to leave a message, get a question answered, want to see some of our YouTube videos, and actually some of our podcasts. How do I go to those? So we're going to do that. So we've got it up here on the screen for you today, and you simply go to daddypetes with an S.com, DADDYPETES.com. So if you're listening today and you do have access to your laptop or your computer, your phone, and you want to follow along, that'll be great. If not, you can go back, access this video, and it'll tell you what to do. So when you get on the main page here, and it gives you a little header across here about home, and that's where we are right now. And those good-looking fellows that you see there is Alan Smith, which is the owner, and naturally that's me. And Alan and myself have been together about 40 years, and playing around with composting and putting together soil mixes and soil amendments, our different bark products, somewhat one we call fertilizers. And so we're going to take you through some of that today and let you know what those do. Also, we do have an about page. It's our name, where it came from. If you'll look there, you can go and find out all of our history. We've been around since 1907, so we're a century-plus farm, and that might be neat for you to read also. Our mission is simply one, to help you grow one plant, one garden, and one business at a time. So keep in mind that we are here to help you grow, be successful in your gardening efforts, whether it be vegetable gardening, whether you're doing fruit trees, fruit bushes, you're doing herbs. If you're landscaping, you want to be a do-it-yourself landscaper, we'll have more videos on that, more podcasts on those. Just whatever that it comes to in the agriculture part of your home or your small mini farm or farm. If you have questions about that, you can answer. Also, Daddy Pete, if you'll go on down, we do a lot of things. Also, you can see our products displayed in the North Carolina State Fair. If you go there in October, usually it's in October, and you can go walk through the gardens. You can see our products actually working there in the gardens at the State Fair, and you'll see our products displayed there also. So that's one part of there, and we'll go to our products in a minute, where to buy it. Now, if you want to know where to buy Daddy Pete's, if you'll go down, we've got it really simple for you to go. And just to give you a quick overview of some of the stores that we sell at, I'll just see if I can broaden that out for you a little bit. And if you'll look, we're up from as far as Cleveland, Ohio, all the way down to Jacksonville or Live Oaks, Florida, or in Alabama, Tennessee, and Virginia, West Virginia, Georgia, South Carolina. We're all over there. And to find out the store nearest you, you just simply go in. It says enter a location, and that could be as simple as your address or your zip code. Hit the search, and then it comes up with all the dealers that sell in your area, and you can look to the left, scroll up and down, and see those. Also, our media, we just talked about that. So we have podcast and how-to videos. I'm just going to click on the how-to videos right quick. Here are some of the things that we do. Which one? Now what? One of the episodes is I bought a poinsettia at Christmas time. Now what? When it gets done, that's the one that tells you for that. Secrets to growing fall flowers. The best advice for cold weather crops. On and on. We have how-to videos. Also, years ago, we did a planting in a straw bale. You can plant inside the bags. If you'll notice, we do that. You can create a small raised bed garden simply with our bags of product and some bark, whether it be mini nuggets, our soil enhancer, which is a mini pine bark fine. You can use hardwood mulch, or you could use straw around it. We show you how to start seeds. So these are just some of the many how-to videos that you can click on and go to. Also, our podcast, we'll do that. And then we do have a place here. Once you click on the podcast, send us your questions. We do answer your questions. You can leave in the question below in the comments. You can leave your email, your name, first and last, your email, and your question, and then hit the submit button. If you would like for me to give you a direct call back and talk more about that, not a problem at all. Just leave your phone number and the question in the comments there, and we'll take care of that. So it's real easy. You just click on the podcast, and there is the place to do. Now, don't miss an episode of this, because you can hit the subscribe button, and you'll be notified as we're doing the podcast. Or if it's not at a convenient time for you, you can always go back and look in the archive episodes. All right, let's go back just a second here. And if you happen to be a garden center owner or a small business and you would like to carry our product, then we have a page here that shows you how to become a certified dealer. You must have a wholesale tax status, and we do that. It gives you the forms. Real easy to fill out. You've got a wholesale purchase agreement, and you also have a different one, agreement, one that gives you your tax information on that, so that we can give you wholesale pricing. All of our dealers are certified, and what we do is we like to make sure that everybody that sells our product has the same goal that we do, is helping customers grow. And so that's one thing. Again, you can look on here at under certified dealers if you become one, and then if you need some POP material, order forms, or just to place an order, you can go through that. We have different links, and then naturally we have a contact page. You can contact us this way. Again, you can call us here at the office, 704-585-2355, and leave a message for one of us. You can send an email in. If you don't go the other route during the podcast, you can send it to info@daddypete's.com, or you can simply email a message to that address above with your name, your email, your phone, and your message there. So we have several different ways for you to get a hold of us. And we'd love to hear what you have to say about our product. We'd love to hear any feedback you have, any questions you have, any problems you're having in growing. I know we have a lot of first-time gardeners, and we want to make sure that you get on the right track. The thing is, a lot of people, when they first time garden, they've got all kind of information. There's a lot of good information on the internet. There's a lot of bad information on the internet. So we want to steer you in the right way to get you going right. Again, we talked about it earlier when we came on the podcast today. Go to your extension service in whatever state you're in, whether it be like North Carolina here where we're at. You can go to the NC State Extension Services, We have at least one in every county, which is an extension, ag. A lot of people call them ag centers. We call it extension, but it's through the North Carolina Land Grant University of NC State and of A&T University, also here in North Carolina. And once you get that information, the plants that are recommended, they've been through field trials, they've been through greenhouse trials, production trials, and so they're tried and true. And different areas do require different species of plants. So that's one thing you want to look up. Get to know your local people in the ag office. They can help you with soil samples and what product to buy. It's just on and on, overwhelming at what they have. If you'll go back and look at the podcast we did with Laura Elmore recently, you'll find out how many services that are free to you. And it's just not about growing, it's about canning, about other things. So let's go on in and talk about our products. We'll not get to all of them today, but I do promise you that we will pick up on our next podcast and finish out. So we're going to go to if you'll just hit the product pages, and it gives you all of our different products here. And some of the products we have discontinued because of, to be quite honest with you, is getting sometimes enough labor to do them all. The barnyard fertilizer is one that we do not offer anymore, but we do offer a specialized peat seed and farm. That's a mix, and we'll talk about mixes later, but it has just an array of different organic fertilizers with nutrients in it. Another one is our sandy loam topsoil, and we'll talk about what it does. These are fertilizers, and they play a dual part. They're also a fertilizer. They can also be used as a soil amendment. So we want to talk about that. And actually, there'll be another one or so we will put into the soil amendment category, would be the Daddy Pete's mushroom compost. So let's start out by talking about our composted cow manure. I'm going to click on it. And if you click on that, and I'm going to go back just to show you. If you go to underneath these pictures, and you can click on that part of the picture itself and hit it. Now it's going to give you a description of what Daddy Pete's composted cow manure really is. Now, it is a dairy cow manure. I get a lot of questions asked all the time, and this is the biggest question I get, so I'm going to answer it here. And hopefully this is one thing that will help you, and you don't have to wait on a reply. If you go to our webpage, you can get that and go hit our podcast and go back through the product thing, and then it will tell you that we're doing today. Our cow manure, I get a lot of questions on this. Does your cow manure have herbicides? No. Are you tested for herbicide? Yes. Do you have antibiotics in your cow manure? No. Keep in mind we're a dairy farm. We still are a working dairy farm, and we still ship milk. Our milk could not be shipped with antibiotics in it. It would be turned down, and we would actually lose the whole load of milk. And whatever's in the milk is going to be in the other end of the cow, so to speak. Our compost permit in North Carolina, and we had one of the first for the animal manures, composting, is exactly the same regulations, requirements as the USDA National NOP, or which is the National Organic Program, and when it comes to composting animal manures. And that is how many times it is heated, what temperatures it is, with the testing, with the record keeping, and we meet the same standards as the USDA NOP requires on their animal waste compost. Also, we use one of the best labs in the United States, which is Soil Control Labs. They're out in California, and they test for particle size, everything coming and going that's tested and our compost. So when we get a report back, and I'm proud to say that we're always basically the same all the way through and have been for over 30 years now that I can remember. And I get a copy of the report every time that one comes out, and I compare them and I look at them, and we're always basically we're in the range we need to be. One thing they use to test our compost with, and this is a good, and you can do this at home too before you buy some, and you if you happen to buy some from a municipality, which I don't recommend, but if you do and you want to run a test before you contaminate your garden or your raised bed or whatever, take some of it, and there's 2 seeds that you can plant, and one is a cucumber seed, the other is a pinto bean. Both of those should come up. You should see no leaf curl, and you should have at least a 95 to 98% immerse rate. That means that they should come up. And or if you bought a pack, look on the side, see what the immerse rate on the seed pack's guaranteed. Sometimes it's 90%, sometimes it's 85%, but you should be getting close to that if you have planted that. Now, every time that we do someone and our tests come back, and with the cucumber immerse and all, we get 100%. And we're very proud of that. And that tells us one thing: when they grow on out, put on their second set of leaves, if they start curling or something looks spindly or they're drooping, you may want to have that compost that you bought, or topsoil, or whatever they want to call it. You may want to have that tested for herbicides or different chemicals before you actually incorporate it into your garden or your raised beds or your pots. So that just kind of gives you a little overview how you can make a quick test. Usually it takes you in the springtime maybe as much as 15 days for them to come up, but not long if you're past frost, and then they'll be in the second set of leaves. All right, we're going to talk about our compost today, our composted cow manure. I'm going to switch back because we want to do something, and we do have a kicking chicken. Our chicken manure also has, if you'll notice down, it has our composted cow manure in it also. It is a blend of both. That way, we hope we've made it more user-friendly. You have the nutrients that's there, and without the risk of burning your plants. So again, we do offer a NPK on these 2 products, so they can be considered a fertilization because of the nutrients you offer, but they're also in soil amendment too. Now I'm going to bump you on down. You can see here, there we go. I'll quit rolling it around where you can see the picture of the bag, and we're going to go back. And I'm going to take you on down here to the mushroom compost. Now, the mushroom compost does also offer nutrients in it, but not guaranteed analysis nutrients. The compost is still rich in nutrients, but it's one that we do not offer a guaranteed analysis. Now, if you look at the mushroom compost, and I'm going to flip back here. These 3 is the one I'm going to talk about. Okay, is the mushroom compost. And I just lost it here. Let me get back. There we go. And our kicking chicken and our cow manure. These also are a great nutrient provider. If you want to top dress, if you want to add some into your soil for nutrients, that's great. But they're also a good soil amendment. When I'm talking about soil amendments, I'm talking about, especially in North Carolina, we have like 3 different types of soil. We go from the mountains to the Piedmont and to our coastal area. We've got 3 different types. Each one of these, the mushroom compost, the cow manure, the kicking chicken, can all be used for amending the soil. Now, in the red clay that we have in the Piedmont region that we have, by introducing an organic matter like our composted dairy manure, we start loosening the soil up, and we're providing nutrients. Now, clay and the red clay and enough organic matter make a beautiful soil. Red clay does have its place here. It helps hold nutrients where organic matters will let them leach after a period of time. So we need something that provides the nutrients and the organic matter to keep that soil loose, but we also need a type of soil to help hold the nutrients that we have there, in which the clay works great for that. Put those two together, I've always said you've got the best soil that you can grow in. Again, you can use the kicking chicken if you prefer. Do the same thing with it. And again, the mushroom compost will also do the same thing. So we have three things that can be added nutrients and a good soil amendment to do that. Now, if you want to talking about the red clay issue, we can go on down. If you want to give it a little bit more of a clay buster thing, you can use our planting mix. Now, our planting mix has our aged bark fines that's been aged so they don't rob your nitrogen, but it also is 50% of those, 50% of our composted dairy manure. And this opens up just a little more aeration, so if you want to mix that 50-50 with the red clay, that's what we recommend when you're planting shrubs, trees, bushes, but it also does good if you're going to build a perennial garden, if you're going to build an annual garden. Even if you have a lot of red clay and you want to do vegetable garden, you can mix this in there, till that in, and you've already turned that red clay into something now that will allow drainage. It allows the air to get to your plants, and it provides organics and nutrients. So that is another good soil amendment, which is the Daddy Pete's planting mix. Now, let's go back here to the cow manure, the kicking chicken, and the mushroom compost. Let's just say, how many other uses do you have with these products? How about compost tea? Every one of these products, the cow manure, the kicking chicken, and the mushroom compost, is a great usage for the compost tea. You can make your compost tea out of it, water in your plants with those. Then you can take what's left over and incorporate it into your garden, into your raised bed. It still has nutrients, it's still ready to go. Now, when you do make your compost tea, I know a lot of people recommend that putting them straight on the leaves. I still recommend that, especially in vegetable plants and annuals, that you water at the base or the stem of the plant or out from that where the roots are reaching with your compost tea. And another thing, we have a lot of people that's doing home composting now, which I encourage you to do so. I think it's a great way to utilize a lot of our waste that you have at home. But let's just say you've got that compost bin going and it's not working just the way you want it to. Okay, you put in the greens, you put in the browns, you thought you had the moisture right. Maybe it's too wet. Too wet, you're not going to get any heat. So you're going to have to put some dry matter in there and bring it on back. You're looking for a moisture rate of somewhere around 60 to 65%. All right, let's just say that you've got it too dry and you want to kick it off with some nutrients, okay? Take the cow manure, the kicking chicken, and the mushroom. I would say 1 pound per gallon of water. Put those in a linen, put it in some cheesecloth or something, dip it down in a 5-gallon bucket, which you'd want about 4 to 5 pounds of either one of these mixes in there. And then you could take that and put that in your pump-up sprayer, spray over your compost bin, your pile, and when you let that set, go ahead and turn it, and then you could add the rest of the whichever product you use that's in the cheesecloth and scatter it out on your bin too. You'll inoculate that compost pile and you'll see a difference. One thing about that, you do want to stay very attentive to the moisture. You need a good compost thermometer by doing that. And you also need to turn when those temperatures start reaching about 155, 160 degrees. Now, if you've got the right moisture, if you've got the browns and greens in there and you're still, and in cold weather, sometimes it gets a little harder, but I'm talking about in spring, summer, and fall. If you're not reaching up to 145 to 50 degrees, there's not enough microbial activity going on. This is the time then to start inoculating again with either your compost tea or take some of our compost, one of the three, mix it in as you're doing your turning, and make sure that you still have enough aeration going on, because if you don't have air in the pile, then it's going to sadden down and you're not going to get the heat. So these are just a couple things that you play around with till you get your formula fixed. Again, I've always been a stickler, and if you've listened to me much, that I believe in journals. That way you know what's working, you know what's not working, you don't have to do it again. You save money by doing this, and same thing with the compost bin. Make sure that you do exactly the same thing. How much browns, how much greens, how much of my moisture is it? Can I buy a moisture meter? Yes. But you'll get to where you can just basically feel it and look at it, and you'll know. If it worked right for you the first time, great. If it didn't, and you pick it up and you mash it and you've got too much water, then you know to add some more dry matter to the thing. So anyway, that kind of gives you an idea on our fertilizer / amendments today. And our next time, what we're going to do is we're going to go over our mixes. Now, we do offer a lot of mixes. If you can go on down to our page of mixes, we got a lawn and garden soil. We've got a mushroom compost that's basically mixed, and we'll go into that too. It has another use. We have a nursery blend, a perennial mix, a peat light mix, planting mix, which we talked about. We got a planting mix of permatill, our potting mix, and then we have a professional landscape and a raised bed mix. Now, everybody says, well, why you got so many things? You know, I go on your site or I look at the bag and everything's got a lot of the same. Well, that's true. They do, but it's just like a baker. A baker uses flour, but they can get cake, cookie, biscuits, pie crust, whatever. It's all about being designed for what you're growing, the crop you're growing, and that's what we've done. Now, a lot of these mixes on here that you'll see, and we'll talk about that next time, are designed for commercial use, which is your growers that's growing in mass quantities, and they have to be perfect. Well, just to let you in on a little secret, when you buy a bag of nursery blend, you get the same product as the commercial grower gets. You get the best of the best. Every one of ours, we do not make a separate mix for our commercial growers and then for our consumers. You get the same quality, the high quality mix that they get. Whether we're selling to a commercial nursery or we're selling to the homeowner down the road that wants to grow strawberries or an annual bed or wants to grow herbs, you're going to get the same mix. And each one of these are designed for optimum growth on the crop that you're growing, and we're going to go over that next time because it does take a little time. Also, we do offer you 5 different bark products. Well, actually, it's 4 now. We have discontinued the sawdust, so we do have 4 different bark products that we offer you, and we'll go into what their purpose is also. I certainly do appreciate everyone tuning in today, and we want to go back up here to the page just a second before we get off with this, and go to daddypete's.com. It's real simple. Go there. Here's the home page. Look right across. There's home. About us. You can learn about us a little bit. Our products. We just went over some. Where to buy. Here's our media, podcast, how-to videos. And if you are a garden center, a small greenhouse, or as long as you do have wholesale numbers, you can give us a call, or we do have dealers, actually distributors, that can help you if they're close by. You can let us know. You shoot that question in, and I'll be glad to tell you who's close. Just let me know where your area is. We've got different links. And then again, contact us. Several different ways to contact us on the how-to videos. If you'll go to that. Again, if you would like to go to our webpage, it's daddypete's.com. We do thank you for listening today. And if you do have those questions, hopefully we've cleared up some areas here where you can send in your questions or whatever. And we'll talk just a little bit about soil amendments and soil fertilization, what we have to offer here at Daddy Pete. The next time, what we'll do is we'll go over our mixes and then our barks, and we will get into just a little deeper why you buy which product, and it was designed for which use that you may or crop you may be growing. Well, so until next time, we certainly do appreciate it. And remember, here at Daddy Pete, we do help you grow. And we'll talk to you next time.